Do
But why
you
won't you
support our
answer my
Constitution?
question, Professor? I'm not trying to argue. I just want to understand what your position is, and I think you're afraid to say that you do support that. If you do support it, I think you, just for the purpose of an intellectual discussion, you ought to just say so.
For purposes of an intellectual discussion, I'm happy to have that with you, but
Well,
that's
then,
not the tone of...
could you answer my question? Do you support, please? I mean, you teach. Okay, I'm sure you've had students ask this question. Do you support making it legal to abort an unborn baby for any reason, up to the moment before birth?
Senator, let's have that intellectual discussion that you want.
We could start if you'd answer my question. I can't go to my next question until you answer that question.
I want you to be able to go to your second
good.
and your third
Answer it for
questions.
me.
I do. But as I have explained, there are many different conditions.
No, I said
during
unfettered discretion, no conditions. I'm
No.
making it easy for you.
Welcome back to Right View Nation, where we speak truth boldly, defend American values fiercely, and call out the radical left without apology. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell, because the truth needs reinforcements. Let's get into it. Folks, sparks flew on Capitol Hill, and not the kind you get from fireworks on the 4th of July. No, I'm talking about good old-fashioned truth bombs being dropped by Senator John Kennedy, who did what far too many politicians are too scared to do. He asked the hard questions about abortion, and he didn't let the left-wing witnesses dance around them. Now let's break this down. You just heard the question. Simple, right? Yes or no?
Senator Kennedy.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you all for being here today. Professor Goodwin, help me understand your point of view. I think this is a yes or no question. Do you support it being legal to abort an unborn child up to the moment of birth?
Senator Kennedy, it is not a yes or no question. I support women like Ms. Zarowski. Women across this...
No, ma'am, I don't. I think it is a yes or no question.
No, well, let me answer.
If there were a law that's, I'm just trying to understand your perspective, and I'm not accusing you of this.
Of course not.
But you know, people sort of talk around this issue. If there were a bill that said that a woman has an unfettered right to abort an unborn baby for any reason up to the moment of birth, would you vote yes or would you vote no?
Senator Kennedy, I refuse to be shackled by your question. What I have answered is that there are conditions that occur
you don't know
during
whether
pregnancy.
You would vote yes or no?
There are conditions during pregnancy that mean after 10 weeks,
No,
14 weeks,
I said
20
unfettered
weeks,
discretion.
24 weeks,
You
conditions
would
such as Ms.
support-
Zarowski.
You're here
and
advocating.
I would support her life.
I
would
understand,
support her
too,
personhood.
But you're advocating a law.
I support her personhood.
You're advocating a law that says that an unborn baby can be aborted up to the moment of birth for any reason, are you not?
Let me clarify what the 14th Amendment says in the first sentence, that citizens of this United States are individuals that are born. That is what our Constitution says.
But
Do
why
you
won't you
support our
answer my
Constitution?
question, Professor? I'm not trying to argue. I just want to understand what your position is, and I think you're afraid to say that you do support that. If you do support it, I think you, just for the purpose of an intellectual discussion, you ought to just say so.
For purposes of an intellectual discussion, I'm happy to have that with you, but
Well,
that's
then,
not the tone of...
could you answer my question? Do you support, please? I mean, you teach. Okay, I'm sure you've had students ask this question. Do you support making it legal to abort an unborn baby for any reason, up to the moment before birth?
Senator, let's have that intellectual discussion that you
Okay.
want.
We could start if you'd answer my
And,
question. I can't go to my next question until you answer that question.
I want you to be able to go to your second
good.
and your third
Answer it for
questions.
me.
I do. But as I have explained, there are many different conditions.
No, I said
during
unfettered
a
discretion, no conditions. I'm making it easy for you.
Well, I've already shared with you, Senator, that I
I get
support
it.
women's
I don't want to use all my time. You're not going
and
to
I
answer
support
it,
Ms.
and that is your
Orozco's
right. But I
personhood.
would respect you more if you just say, here's
I'm
my
sorry
answer.
that you don't respect
I
me
do
very
respect
much.
you, but I said I'd respect you more if you just answer my question. Doctor, tell me how to say your last name. Ms. Dr. Rubenhorst, do you support a law that would allow, for any reason, unfettered discretion, the abortion of an unborn child up until the moment of birth?
No.
You don't. Dr. Verma?
Senator Kennedy, so I'm the one doctor in this room that does provide abortion care, and I can tell you that does not reflect the reality of
No,
abortion
I
care.
understand. I'm just asking a question.
It simply doesn't
But do you
happen.
support it? There are bills before Congress that will allow that to happen.
That's
You don't support it, or are you going to not
again,
answer my question?
As the doctor in this room who does provide abortion care, that is not how abortion care in this country works. It's a hypothetical that does a
But if
disservice
a
to our
patient came to you
patient.
and said, I'm going to probably have a baby this week and I've changed my mind, and I would like you, doctor, to abort the child, would you do it?
That is not how abortion care in
But
this
if
country
a
works.
patient did, would you do it?
My job as a doctor is to look at each individual situation.
I mean,
but
I'm
have
sorry, I don't
never-
mean to be rude, but I can tell neither you nor the professor will answer my question.
I
And
have
think
nev-
you both have an opinion, and I don't understand why you won't share it.
I have
We're going to solve this
provided-
problem.
I've
Doctor-
provided care for a
doctor,
few
how
years,
about
and I've
you?
never
Could you-
seen that situation.
How about you, Doc? Would you?
Do not support unfettered abortion, and I would like to point out that if a woman did have a life-threatening condition in pregnancy past approximately 22 weeks, that baby can be delivered alive by induction or C-section, and we can try to save that baby. The intent of abortion is a dead baby, and that is not necessary in that situation.
I mean, I want you to all understand where I'm coming from. This is a tough issue. And it's a tough issue because there's some tough questions we've got to answer. And when you won't answer the questions, when you're invited by my Democratic friends, the majority, and you won't answer the most fundamental question, we've got a bill in front of us that will basically say a woman has the unfettered right to abort at any time for any reason up to the moment of birth. And that's a gut check issue. And I would expect you as experts to answer that truthfully, how you do it. Thank you for your indulgence, Mr. Chairman.
Senator Ossoff?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you to all of the witnesses for joining us and sharing your experiences and perspective. It's been tremendously impactful to hear from you. And Mr. Chairman, I do want to note and acknowledge that we have a Georgia physician with us, and Dr. Verma. Thank you for your work providing health care for Georgia women at a time when
Do you support abortion up to the moment of birth? That's the issue. That's what's on the table. And what do we get in return? We get dodges. We get deflections. We get long-winded lectures about the Constitution and conditions and complexities, all while never answering the actual question. Let me be real clear here. The Democratic Party and their activist allies know that the vast majority of Americans do not support abortion up to the moment of birth. That's why they refuse to say it out loud. That's why they hide behind vague language like reproductive freedom and healthcare decisions. Because if the American people heard them speak plainly, they'd be horrified. You and I both know the truth. This isn't about healthcare at 39 weeks. This isn't about choice when the baby is fully formed, viable, and could be safely delivered. No, this is about pushing an extreme, radical agenda that devalues life and denies the most basic moral reality, that an unborn baby is a human being. Let's talk facts. At 24 weeks, a baby can survive outside the womb with medical support. At 30 weeks, that child can hear your voice, feel pain, and dream. At 39 weeks, that's a full-term baby. And yet we have so-called experts brought before Congress who refuse to say they don't support abortion at that stage. And what does Senator Kennedy do? He holds the line. He asks calmly and clearly again and again, do you support abortion up to the moment of birth? He gives them every chance to answer. And when they don't, when they squirm, when they filibuster, when they obfuscate, it tells you everything you need to know. I gotta say this. Senator Kennedy showed what courage looks like. He wasn't mean, he wasn't yelling, he was just seeking the truth. That's how debates should be done. But what we saw from the witnesses, that was intellectual cowardice dressed up in academic doublespeak. And can I just ask, what kind of society have we become when we have to beg our leaders to acknowledge that a baby, a fully formed baby, deserves protection in the womb? What happened to common sense? What happened to decency? We are in a cultural freefall, my friends, and the radical left is at the wheel. But there's hope. There's always hope, because Americans like you are waking up. You're seeing through the lies. You're recognizing that this isn't just politics. It's about life, liberty, and whether we still believe in the foundational truth that all life is sacred. So here's the deal. We need more leaders like Senator Kennedy. We need more truth tellers, and we need you, the silent majority, to speak up, to stand strong, and to never back down. If you're tired of the lies, if you're ready to fight for the unborn, if you're done watching the left push the line further and further, then you're in the right place. This is Right View Nation, and we don't blink. We don't fold. We defend life, from conception to natural death. Drop a comment below and let me know, do you think the left is afraid to tell the truth about abortion? And what would you say to these witnesses if given the chance? Like, subscribe and share this video because the media won't tell the truth, but we will. God bless you, God bless the unborn, and God bless the United States of America.